What was life like inside a medieval fortress? Medieval castles weren't just imposing stone structures, they were symbols of power and control. Life within those thick walls was a mix of danger, duty, and intrigue. The inner bailey was the main living area of the castle. Here, knights trained in the art of war, honing their skills in the courtyard. Their armor was a status symbol, and their weapons, including swords, maces, and shields, were carefully maintained. When not training, knights would tend to their lord's business, managing his lands and collecting taxes. They also had to be ready to defend the castle at a moment's notice. Meanwhile, in the great hall, the lord and his nobles feasted on roasted meats and drank from golden goblets. They discussed politics and strategy, while minstrels played music and told stories. The common folk, including servants and laborers, had a much simpler diet of bread, cheese, and ale. They ate in the kitchens or in the courtyard during the summer. Their work was never-ending, and they had to be careful not to make any mistakes that would anger the nobility. Castles were built to withstand long sieges, and the moat, drawbridge, and murder holes were there to keep the inhabitants safe from enemy attacks. At night, the castle came alive with the sounds of snoring as the men, women, and children crowded into the small rooms, each trying to get a few hours of sleep before the sun rose and the work began again. It may sound romantic, but life inside a castle was tough. The rooms were cold and damp, and the food, while plentiful, was often bland. Hygiene was not a priority, and the lack of privacy was a constant problem. To top it all off, there was the ever-present danger of war. A single battle could change life inside a castle forever. Those who lived there had to be prepared for anything. For the knights, their code of honor demanded bravery, loyalty, and selflessness. They were expected to put the needs of their lord and their country above their own. In return, they were promised land, gold, and, most importantly, recognition. But life as a knight was dangerous. Tournaments were deadly affairs, and battles could last for hours. Knights were killed or wounded, and sometimes even captured and held for ransom. Behind the high walls and battlements, life in a medieval castle was a constant struggle for survival in a violent world. It was a place where the threat of war loomed large, and every inhabitant had to be prepared to defend themselves at a moment's notice. But it was also a place where honor, loyalty, and bravery were celebrated, and where the common folk went about their daily lives trying to make a better future for themselves and their families. Now you need to watch what a day in the life of a medieval peasant was really like. Or check out this video instead.